Alright, hello everyone. My name is Nigel, of course, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. So, I've got a few poetry readings for you guys, but a couple announcements before we begin. For starters, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Nigel Verse, and we have a Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page as well. So go check those out. Comment, all that good stuff. Share as well. I really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. But also, next week, of course, on the Nigel Verse YouTube channel will be the crime analysis. So let me know which of the three crime cases you want to see me cover. And that was going to be Marvin Gaye, John Lennon, or Gianni Versace. Of course, these guys this time around aren't the criminals per se, but are the victims of the crime, because I want to do victims as well as criminals when I do these crime analysis videos. So if you could please let me know which one you guys want to see. I haven't received any feedback yet, so if I don't, I will either just pick one of the three on my own, or I won't cover one of those three. We'll cover somebody else. But and of course, we do other cool stuff on the YouTube channel as well. I do movie reviews, video game reviews, things like that. So definitely go check those out. And System Shock Radio episode 58 just dropped, so go check that out as well. But without further ado, let's get right into the first poem. And this poem is called Beam of Light. Right? So, imagine, if you will, a pitch black room shrouded in darkness, nothing to be seen, hiding from the outside world. The dark is the only company. Suddenly, a flash of light shoots through the ceiling. Illumination. Not enough, but as a start. A hand reaches for the ceiling, punching at the ceiling, desperate for the light. The hands destroy the ceiling, and the room floods with light. Rejoice, for the light has come through. So, of course, in darkness, oftentimes you'll want to let light through, because light is a good thing. It shines on you, and so you want that light to come through. And of course, light is the good thing, darkness is the bad thing. And so when you get a little bit of light, you want to go for more, because you want the light, you need the light. And whether it's darkness, could be physically like a dark room, or perhaps mentally like you're in a dark state of mind, but you want that light to come through. And you're happy when the light comes through, and you rejoice when the light comes through, like the people do here. But next up, the next poem is going to be called Perfect Strangers. I remember so long ago, we talked all the time, sharing our hopes and dreams, our confessions, secret faults only we knew. Not a day went by where we didn't talk, hours and hours, day after day, until the sun came up. But then something happened. You left me. I left you. We grew apart. Distance changes things. We barely even talk. We don't even see each other. Just a passing glance. Nothing more. We don't even remember our names. Imagine that. A friendship, a close bond, swept away in the sands of time. So, sadly, sometimes what happens in life is that you oftentimes disconnect with someone, and you don't really talk much anymore. And it's not like some big blow up, like I hate you type thing, and I can't stand you type thing. It's more just you grow apart, you don't really talk much anymore. Oftentimes because they went somewhere else, or you went somewhere else, and you don't really talk to them as much, you don't keep in touch as much, and you don't see each other. And because you don't see each other, then that distance comes with separation, where you're no longer talking and everything, and you don't really associate with each other anymore. Unfortunately, that's happened to me quite a few times. There are some people who I used to talk to quite a bit, but over time we just drifted apart and we didn't really talk anymore, and that distance kept us apart, and we don't really talk to each other that much, which is why when you establish a friendship or a bond, even when you're separated, you keep in touch and everything. And there's people who I don't see anymore that much in person at least, but we still keep in touch. We talk to each other. If I happen to see something from theirs on social media, I will talk with them and say, hey, how you doing? Message them, hey, how you doing? Things like that. And we talk on the regular. And of course, there are some people from my past I see in person and everything, but for those that don't, I still try to keep in touch. But some people you just grow apart from, and like I said, it's not anything like some super big breakup, fallout thing like that. It's just you don't really talk that much, which is sad. It's unfortunate, but such is life sometimes. It's just what happens sometimes is you say you're going to keep in touch, but you don't really. You just grow apart with some people. Thankfully, I haven't had too many people like that in my life, but there have been some, and it does suck quite a bit. But this last poem is not a poem for me, but it's going to be Harlem by Langston Hughes. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? So, for starters, this poem was actually the inspiration for the Raisin in the Sun stage play, and then by extension the movie and everything. But this poem, I think, is a pretty interesting one from Langston Hughes. Here he asks, what happens to a dream deferred, where it's either denied or it's put off? You don't really invest in it anymore. Will it shrivel up? Will it go away? Does it age over time? Does it become better as time goes on? What happens to it? And sometimes he also says it might sag. It might bear the burden that, I had this great thing, but I didn't really invest in it, so now it's kind of just there, not really doing anything. And so there he's asking what happens when a dream like this happens, where it's just there, you're not really putting anything into it, or you're not having the opportunities to really improve it. It's kind of just there. What happens to it, essentially? And we see that, of course, reflected in the play as well, which I think is pretty interesting. I actually read part of the book in high school, and I saw a part of the movie, but I definitely gotta watch not just the movie but the stage play as well. But that, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this week's episode. So remember, the next episode of not just Tales from Labyrinth but System Shock Radio won't be next week, but week after. We do these on a bi-weekly schedule, and those will be live, so you can come hang out with me as I read some poetry and talk with you guys. But without further ado, thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for the constant support you've shown already, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys later. Peace.